Hello everyone, my name is Zitao, a game designer from Next Studios, and I'm so excited about my game, The Shape of the Time, received the honorable mention of this year's Novel Award. The playthrough of the game is just 15 minutes. Instead of showing the game, I would like to talk about my thinking and the design idea behind it. Although I created this game in a game jam and part of it is improvisation, I've had this idea for quite a while. We often talk philosophically about games, but rarely do we think of games that are actually about philosophy. So I was thinking, if there were philosophical games, how would it played? What's the relationship between the game and philosophy? In short, The Shape of Time is an attempt of designing philosophical games. It has 15 levels or scenes. Each scene represents a certain imagination, perception, or concept of time. In the first 5 scenes, I want to think critically about the modern perception of time, which has become atomic, faster, and more compressed. While the last 10 scenes try to introduce some other way of perception that may save or change our mechanical and dead feeling with time, including the specialized time, the moment, the waiting, living to a death, the duration, and so on. The structure refers to the German philosopher Bin Cheng Han's work, The Sense of Time. And the inspirations comes from different philosophical works, concept, philosopher. We are now planning to make some graphic update and a developer commentary version. This game is all about time. Video games are great for capturing different perception of time because time in the digital world is discrete and updated frame by frame. We can simulate time with different textures by manipulating how it's updated in a game engine. So there are 2 basic ideas. The first one is what I called creating an organ. French philosopher Stingler Bernard said, being a painter is about creating an eye for the audience and leading them to see differently. And for some phenomenologists like Merleau-Ponty, painting is not that far from the philosophy. In fact, the painting itself is a form of philosophy. Like the Saint-Victor Mountain of Cézanne, it's all about to provide a new way of perception of the world. So I think the video game can easily create a body or an organ to bring out a new way of perception to make the game world touchable and lead the player into a certain state. For instance, I create 2 types of the clock in the games. The first one is the mechanical clock, like D-dot D-dot. It clicks discretely and represents a time of industrial revolution. So you can feel that it's a bit annoying and boring. And then there's also a clock with continuous movement. In this case, the time is like the flow and it gives another feeling. I think maybe I get a part of inspiration from a game called Wake Up, which used the discrete input to simulate the worker's repetitive labor, and the famous fish-cutting level of What Remains of Edith Finch. In another game of mine, I use the same trick. It's an adaptation or interactive reading experience of Ted Chiang's science fiction, Exhalation. I try to create a breathing organ. The player needs to follow a certain rhythm and breathe. It even leads the player's actual body to breathe like that. And the second idea is about explanation. It's close to making a reference or illustration of the philosophical concept, or even a kind of interactive, playful essay and teaching aid. In this part, I want to refer to a lovely explorable explanation curated by Nicky Case and the philosophical games made by Professor Stefano Guarini of Malta University, which used a video game to explain the ambiguity of the definition and the indexicality. And the idea behind is what Brian Eno called involving metaphor, and Ian Bogost procedural rhetoric, which use the rule-based representations and interaction to make an argument. Like this scene about the living toward death, a circle the player can move freely, except it collapses firmly toward the center, which discloses the feeling of fatality. So in terms of explanation, I think video games can provide an occurrence that the things happening right now. It helped the player better understand, experience concept of philosophy without getting lost in its confusing jargon. Here is an early prototype of the philosophical workshop by Gilles Deleuze about movement. It's a bit hard to explain it. You have to show it directly. And then, this scene in The Shape of Time is about an explanation of the Edmund Husserl's concept, the retentions of time perception, which say the perception of time is not a set of points, but a field. The reason we can connect the sound impression to a melody is the retention. So the time in your mind is not like this. But more like that. So if we arrange it a bit, we can understand the structure illustrated in his work. So when explaining a concept, the most important thing is not to know the definition, but to feel it, touch it, and do it and make it happen. The video game can help the audience do that. Like this thing, I didn't explain the concept of waiting, I just didn't actually wait for 30 seconds. So I think we can push further and take the game as a general method. Because a philosophical game is not only about introducing the philosophy in video games, but also about introducing the game to philosophy. Maybe scholars in this era should consider using the new media to write and present their works, like using comics to understand comics, and using cinema to present cinema. Maybe we can use video games in game studies, like ESPU and Stefano Guarini. And then we can connect to the tradition of digital humanities, and artistic research reflects on the domination of print media in academic world. I hope the experimental games can also try to become a playable media to connect with a different field and take the game as a more common method. So finally, let's take a glimpse at the relationship between the philosophy and the game. Philosophy Deleuze said the philosophy is just as creative as any other art through creating concept. So I guess the better relationship between the game and the philosophical concept is not to explain, but to make an adaptation, or to create a playful interactive experience from those ideas. Like this scene, I took the inspiration of the photography Henri Bresson to capture the decisive moment, which I think is suitable to Liu An's writing just now. Combining these two ideas, this thing starts to have its unique aesthetics. That's also the idea of The Shape of the Time. I didn't want to make an interactive philosophical teaching material, so it's about resonance, not reference. This experiment between the video game and philosophy is in fact one episode of a project called the Game Plus, the latest creative project that we explore at Next Studios with a lot of internal input and support. Here I try to research and connect between the game's interface and different disciplines, such as sound, poetry, reading, and philosophy, and so on. I hope that in this way we can make a small breakthrough in the cultural dilemma of video games in China. It is also a great honor for me to join this EGW tradition. My personal brand, Sams's Way, is also doing translation and introduction of experimental games in China. So hope we have more communication in the future, and thank you for your time.